send us back to the border. Wait on water. He waking up his sons and he know. We putting in the lies that they told us. He gon' send us back to the border. Raising his hour. Great I am, he the almighty power. I'll rock, I'll shield, I'll tower. Don't fool, y'all be in the flower. We gon' give him praise in his hour. I'll rock, I'll shield, I'll tower. Great I am, he the almighty power. Don't fool, y'all be in the final hour. Who know the way, who know the truth, know the life? Whole world finding out we Israelites. Who know the laws, who the one go right? No forever sees who the one go teach them Christ. If we been down, lied to for so long. None of us in this shit wrong. Come out of her, down your scenes, come home. The judgment coming to the earth, all the wrong. The Gentiles finding out where her lies. So the tribes, we know the truth. Let's get on the prayer time. Although we scared, stay connected, we gon' rise. Our bones waking. Put away your idols, let the Torah go viral. Waking up in captivity, it's all in the Bible. We was once dead, follow Christ for survival. They assisting to he provides you. We gon' give him praise in his rock out shield out tower. Don't fool, y'all be in the final hour. We gon' give him praise in his hour. Rock out shield.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for today. I am Kyle. In the building, I got my butter pecan, Miss Artist 28, art by Sharonda. I got my young Hebrew in the building, Logan's World. Yes, Bella Summers in the building. So we are all hands on deck for this day. Want to make sure that this sound is going through. If you can go on YouTube and see if my sound is coming through, I would appreciate it. I don't know if it's coming through on the sound. Oh, great. I see my brothers in the building. Brother Yawan is in the building. Shotgun Slim is in the building. Yes. The Mardi Gras Illuminati in the building. Yeah. By the time we're going to start playing your music soon, brother, as an intro. So, man, today we have a very, the best way I can explain this is a heartfelt appeal for us as a people to have an understanding of calamities and why calamities can happen to good people. As you know, being here in New Orleans, we are still dealing with the after effect of the New Year's Eve. I see a Four Seasons in the building of New Year's Eve and dealing with the fact of the innocent that have lost their lives in this attack. The question has come to me several times of why, when you have such good people, such as the young lady that walked her child to school at 5:30 in the morning, then went to work, the young Hispanic lady, the young men that just graduated, the young ladies that were out there, so many that worshiping on a Junius Day, you know, the Greek holiday. That's what got them in that scenario. No. Am I going to sit here and say that they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Those all are cliches. Those are all things that people say that have nothing to do with the Most High in explaining a calamity that the person that did the idiotic thing thought that he was doing for his God. We opened the Bourbon Street with prayers, right? They had priests and pastors and even Master P come to say something over the street to you, open it again. Again, they are going to the Most High. But yet, in the explanations of these tragedies and calamities, we are just giving cliches. I'm going to offer a deeper explanation through the Most High, because this is not the last calamity that's going to befall this nation, befall this city, befall this community. How do we deal with these scenarios? After all, that's the first time that has ever happened in Louisiana. But yet, in the Gaza Strip or in Pakistan or in many of these other war countries, these things are constant. They live with this and go to school and eat and try to have a life amongst constant war. People doing suicide bombs and this, military missions being done in their communities. In America, we have been very lucky in that sense. Won't be that way. The Most High has prophesied a fate for the daughter of Babylon. In that, it doesn't say bombs are going to be dropped. It says that the lovers will turn. That's the financial system. That's who trade with us. See, once the economic belly is ripped from underneath this daughter of Babylon, you will see the unfortunate face of the evil that conquered this land. Right now, our government and our system, see Brother Edan, they have a mask on their face of love in the form of democratic parties and whatnot. They are about equality and efficacy. They pretend that all is equal in this nation. So those things which are lies must come to an end. And for a lie to come to an end, that means the truth has to rise. As that happened, people that lie, they get real. You heard the term when you put a cat in a corner. You know what I mean? They're going to come out scratching. But that's the same way for evil when truth is revealed. So we must watch for that and understand that in that, innocent people, is what we would consider innocent, may fall, may die, may be hurt, may be injured. And you may be asking the question of why these good things, these bad things happening to good people. You must understand that there is a much larger thing that's happening. There is a greater fight of good and evil that is happening on a constant basis. And people that aren't paying attention, people that want to stick their head in the ground like an ostrich and act as though none of these things are happening, that they're just trying to get their paycheck that week. They're just trying to go to the club that night. They're just trying to get their drink on. They're just trying to find a woman in this world. Those people will get caught up in this war of good and evil and not know why. And not know why. They have no clue that there is an absolute battle for souls that are happening right now. You just happen to walk in a place where the battle is commencing. You're a good person. You've walked into a calamity. Does that make the Most High evil? Does that make the Most High not there? Does that give fuel to the Antichrist out there? To fuel to the what they call that? No, not the Antichrist. That was close. The anarchist. That's the word I was looking for. The anarchist. Anarchists mean that they don't believe in anything. They don't believe in any God. Nothing. Yeah. Atheists and anarchists are the same. They're all part of the similar definition. Atheists and anarchists. Does that give power to them? I see my cousin in the building. Calamities, bad things happen when we're not paying attention. Bad things and calamities happen to us when we are not vigilant in deciding where we're going and what we're doing and who we're seeing and why we're seeing and what we're celebrating and why we're celebrating. We have to blow our shofar so we can get to these scriptures to explain this out. It is a hard thing to explain to people how bad things happen to so-called good people. How this can be a plan, how this can work out for the good of the Most High. My wife came up with a script for that in the Ecclesiastes that we're going to deal with shortly. Ecclesiastes 8, to be exact. So we're going to stand to the east and let the shofar blast so we can begin our scriptures for this Sabbath, for this Shabbat, as customary in the temple. As we are standing to the east and letting the professionals blow this shofar, we are praying that the Most High answers your questions that have been plaguing you. May not have anything to do with the title and the lesson that we have put together, or scriptures that my family have, but we pray that these words in somehow, some way, answers the questions that you've been having, and the Most High sent you here to get those answers. And we pray that when you accept that the Most High levels you up when you allow those words to resonate with you, whether it be right now, next week, or next month, next year. We pray the Most High levels you up immediately. Let's stand to the east and blow the shofar. Yes, sir. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yes, yes. Man, if you guys are in on the YouTube, man, let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear? The app sent me a message stating that my audio needed to be restarted. I'm not sure if you guys can hear. So our first scripture, we're going to Isaiah chapter 57. happening to bad people, calamity that coming through. It says, righteous man perishes, and no one can. Men are taken away, and no one gives thought. That's because of evil. The righteous was taken away. So when we look at this Isaiah 57, as we start off, and my wife had this scripture as well. So when it speaks about the righteous man perishes and no one considers, what are they not considering? Is it saying that they're not considering the righteous man? No, they're not considering the Most High's hand. They're saying pious men are taken away, and no one gives thought. That because of evil. So we're quick to attribute calamities and things that happen to evil. We don't consider the Most High's hand in it. We just pray. We just pray to open up the street. We just pray that everything is good, and that was a bad person. Or this was a good person. That was too. It was a bad scenario, situation, and it's done. It says the righteous man was taken away, yet he shall come to peace. Yet he shall come to peace. It's interesting when you see those two lines together. The righteous man was taken away, but yet he comes to peace. So the righteous, even though we are mourning on this side, the righteous, even though we are trying to figure out why somebody good would be taken, when we're saying that this must be evil, we're not considering the Most High's hand in it at all. Yet we see as we end verse 1 and go into verse 2, it's intimately connected in saying that the righteous was taken away, yet he shall come to peace. There is a definite direction for the ones that have been following the Most High, and it's taken away abruptly, in our opinion, that we feel this hurt and this pain. I can tell you and talk to you in this manner without any emotion, but if my father was to pass tomorrow, it would be hard for me to give you these same words. That's why the Most High has priests. He has his children to speak the word, so that we have strength for when those days come. It says that the righteous is taken, but they're going to peace. He shall have rest on his couch, who walk straight forward. Isaiah is like sitting here saying that it doesn't matter how the righteous is taken. Understand that they're going to a great place. Doesn't matter the calamity, because I still got my Logan right here. But if that was to happen to him, it'd be hard for us to console me. It would be hard to explain to me that it's the Most High's hand, but it is. It is. And sometimes it is for the betterment. We say that again. It's moving on, but it's more considering the Most High's hand in it. It's about bringing the Most High in everything that we do, and not in a corny way, not in a Bible thumping way, but in an understanding that all things is in the Most High's hands. And if a beautiful angel is taken from us at 5, at 10, at 15, at 18 years old, we have to understand that that angel, that good spirit, the Most High required that. Verse 3. But as for you, come closer. That's for the living. As for you, though, come closer. You sons of sorcerers. Oh, so we're taking a real quick change here. This Isaiah 57 is going to take us on a journey. I just want you to understand that we're not going to read just a context of this, meaning just one verse or, and try to expound on it. No, we're going to let the Most High take us on this journey. I don't know how many of you take journeys with these chapters. That means that you suck the life breath out of each verse of the chapter and let it take you. So we're in verse 3, and it says, "But as for you, come closer, you sons of sorcerers, you offspring of an adulterer and a harlot." When the Most High speaks of offspring, he's speaking of the children that have followed, or the children that do not follow him, that have followed other gods via their parents. You're offspring of an adulterer and a harlot. With whom do you act so familiar? Again, we're going to let the verse take us, right? We're going to dive deep and let this move us where it goes, because where it goes is saying that if you have been following these false gods, that when the calamity comes upon you, you revert back to what your sorcerous parents that believe in fallen angels and deities and other entities other than the Most High and read his word of Isaiah 57 of how to deal with calamities, but yet deals with it through the Gospels. They had a gentleman on YouTube that had, "Why am I no longer in Israel?" See what he had to say, young man. And, he said that it conflicted with his Gospels. See, that's what I've been trying to explain to everyone when they say everything is the same. This guy that was deep into Christianity understood when he started reading the Old Testament, he needed to be there, that was the foundation, came into being in Hebrew, but his issue was he could not let go the sorcery of his parents. The 2 Timothy is what he brought up. He had to go back to his gospel, could not accept what he was being shown. I see y'all here in the building. It says, "Your offspring of an adulterer and a harlot, with whom do you act so familiar? At whom do you open your mouth? At whom do you open your mouth and stick out your tongue?" So the Most High is saying that when you do this, when you call upon your gospel, when you call upon your other gods, when you call upon your other doctrine other than the Most High, when you do not consider his hand in the calamity that he may have taken righteous, he says at that point, you have stuck your tongue out and you have what? Whom do you open your mouth and stick your tongue at? The Most High. He says, "And stick your tongue out. Why? You are children of iniquity, offspring of treachery, you who inflame yourselves among the terebinths, under every verdant tree, who slaughter children in the wadis, among the clefts of the rocks. With such are you share and portion." So the Most High says, for you that do not consider his hand in time of calamity, for those that revert back to your gospel, to the adulterous and harlotry ways of your parents after understanding the law of the Most High, that your bed, that your end is the same portion as those that killed their children. Verse 6, "With such are your share and portion. They are your allotment. To them you have poured out libation, presented offerings. Should I relent in the face of this?" When you had your Christmas celebration, you gave offering unto this deity as you cut your ham, the pork, as the same thing that was the abomination done in the temple when the Romans came and sacrificed a pig on the altar of the Most High. if we do not understand exactly the law of the Most High, you are accountable and cannot go back. All praises unto my cuz. That is the facts. You cannot go back unless you are going to explain to them in that arena where they are at. Unless they are going to allow you to come into their home and tell them the truth. I asked this of my aunt. She told me she was not there. I said, I cannot come then. If I cannot go into the depths of hell and speak of the Most High, then I cannot go. I can go to your hell. I can tiptoe through your iniquity, still speaking the Most High, giving it to you, giving you an option to change your ways, telling you why this is erroneous. But if not, and we both agree, you know what I'm going to do, you know what you're going to do, and we agree that's going to be a clash, then we shall not meet. That is okay. We still family. I still love my auntie more than you imagine. I call every day. Well, not every day, but if I could, I would. So it says, verse 7, on a high and lofty hill, you have set your couch. There too, you have gone up to perform sacrifices. Behind the door and doorpost, you have directed your thoughts, abandoning me. You have gone up on the couch you made so wide. You have made a covenant with them. You have loved bedding with them. You have chosen lust. You have approached the king with oil. You have provided many perfumes, and you have sent your envoys afar, even down to the nether world. Most High is saying that you have decked your halls with holly, punk. You decked your halls, you decked your trees, you shot the fireworks, you've done everything you can do. You've done everything you can do to give homage to these other gods, and I am not supposed to notice. I am not supposed to acknowledge. You get at me because you say that I don't deal with iniquity. So how am I supposed to let you slide? Think about that. Most people want to hop off of the Most High because they don't feel like the Most High is doing what he says he's done. But yet you go and do it, and then you expect him to do you nothing. Or you expect no fate to your actions. Interesting concept. I don't think it's going to work out for you, but it's interesting. You dig? So it says, verse 9 of Isaiah chapter 57. You have approached the king with oil. You have provided many perfumes, and you have sent your envoys afar, even down to the netherworld. Though worried by much travail, you never said, give up. You found, it says, you found, and so you were cared. Who do you dread and fear? That you tell lies, but you gave no thought to me. Like I said, we're going to read the whole chapter because we're not, you know what I'm saying, Shotgun Slim. We're not going to just throw up a verse and say, you know, that's what you're supposed to be doing and not giving no context. The Most High says when he is spoken, he speaks to an extreme of a subject. You can pick a subject and Google it and say, give me scripture on this, and you will see exhaustive scriptures from their copying it in the New Testament to the Old of everything the Most High has to say about everything that's going on in this world right now. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So we're reading this whole thing to understand that when calamities happen, as they're going to continue to happen in this world because the prophecies are coming true, and in those prophecies, the Most High has promised calamities. This is speaking on how we deal with these calamities. This is talking about how to deal with the Most High's hands in your life every day, to acknowledge that. Because if you don't acknowledge that, then you're going to be going back on what the sorcery and the things that your parents taught you and this world has lied to you about. So until you understand this, until you understand all of this Isaiah 57, then can you understand how to deal with these calamities coming forward. And it says in 11, whom do you dread and fear, that you tell lies, but you gave no thought to me, you paid no heed. It is because I have stood idle by so long that you have no fear of me. I hereby pronounce judgment upon your deeds. Your assorted idols shall not avail you. So Most High said, I haven't been punishing you, Logan. That's what it is. That's why you don't see me. Oh, you ain't seen me like bring fire from the heavens down. Oh, you want me to show my hand? Okay, I got a judgment for you on all your idols, on everything you believe in, all those things that you praise into because you ain't seen me. I have now given judgment on that. Ooh, yeah. It said, your assorted idols shall not avail you, shall not save you when you cry out. They shall all be borne off by the wind, snatched away by a breeze. But those who trust in me shall inherit the land. Oh, that's what we on. See, your gospel tells you that you get to only inherit his blood, and they say that you get salvation. We get the land here. That means that we get it before we die. I know y'all may have missed that sleight of hand. You got somebody there in the New Testament telling all these things after you die. The Most High says that if you can be righteous, if you can say that I can give you land that you own right now while you breathe. Right now. That's what I'm fighting for every day. That's why I'm being a warrior. That's why I want to keep my mind, my spirit, my body ready for whatever calamity, because I understand that in my meekness, in me getting the heck out the way and understanding it's the Most High doing this, there's a come up coming for me. There's a come up coming for all my people that are righteous. There's a come up at hand. I want to be healthy enough. I want to be strong enough to take that. Take that. You know what I'm talking about? It says, but those who trust in me shall inherit the land and possess my sacred mount. Thus says the Most High. Build up a highway, clear a road, remove all obstacles from the road of my people. From thus said he who high aloft. Yes, for thus said he who high aloft forever dwells, whose name is holy. I dwell on high in holiness. Yet with the contrite and the lowly in spirit, reviving the spirits of the lowly, reviving the hearts of the contrite. So the Most High says, even though I be upon high, my place is with the low. And why? Because he has put us here. Why? Because we are his children that are fulfilling his prophecies in this oppression. With these nations being confederate upon the Most High's people, we would be those people. As it says over and over again, we are the Most High's inheritance here. We take over ownership of his in his name. Not ours, not King Harry, but in the Most High Shaddai. When I take over a land, a house, or whatever, it's claiming in the Most High's name. In my deeds, in my action, in my war, in my humility, in my wherever the Most High has me amalgamate to be, I'm going to claim it in his name. Because this is the prophecy. I am claiming to be a part of his prophecy. Are you there? You should be. That's what this is about. That's what every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Hebrew State of Being is about. It says, Verse 16, for I will not always contend. I will not be angry forever. Nah, I who make spirits flag also create the breath of life. For their sinful greed I was angry. I struck them and turned away in my wrath. Though stubborn, they follow the way of their hearts. I note how they fare and will heed them and mete out solace to them. And to the mourners among them, heartening, comforting words. It says, and to the mourners among them, heartening, comforting words, it shall be well. Well with the far and the near, says the Most High. So the Most High says, as he started it off, that good and righteous will be taken and none considered. The Most High ends this with saying, for those that are mourning, there will be words of solace. There will be things that will make you feel okay with what has happened, what the Most High has had to bring to pass. But in that, you are to claim the Most High in that. You are to claim the victory through the Most High. It says, it shall be well with the far and the near, says the Most High, and I will heal them. But the wicked are like a troubled sea, which cannot rest, whose waters toss up mire and mud. There is no safety, says the Most High, for the wicked. No safety. Let's go to Psalm 73. Today was one of those days where, for understanding and full context, we are reading all of the chapter, right? So the Psalm 73 isn't any different, right? So we're going to start off with Psalms 73:1, and it says, the Most High is truly good to Yasharallah, to those whose heart is pure. As for me, my feet had almost strayed. My steps were nearly led off course. For I envy the wanton. I envy the other people. I saw the wicked at ease. Death has no pangs for them. So he's saying, I started following the crowd, man. The crowd looked like they was winning. And it says, the wicked looked like they was at ease. And it seemed like death was not even coming to none of them. And it says, verse 4, death has no pangs for them. Their body is healthy. They have no part in the travail of men. They are not afflicted like the rest of mankind. So pride adorns their necks. Lawlessness enwraps them as a mantle. For fat shouts out their eyes. They eating that much good food that fat just shooting out their eyes. Their fancies are extravagant. They scoff and plan evil from their enemies. From their immense. They plan wrongdoings from their doing. They set their mouths against heaven, Shemayim, and their tongues rang over the earth. So they pound his people again and again until they are drained of their very last tear. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel like that about me. That I have been paying to my very last tear. Me and my brother was having a conversation the other night over free will. And his position was, we don't have free will because the Most High's prophecies, right? I told him about a conversation that my brother Edan had given me. I see Jan is in the building. About a conversation brother Edan had brought to me about someone that was in his car that was a physicist that did not believe in the Most High and his position on free will, right? Saying that there is no God, right? So therefore, if there was a God, then there would be no free will. And the fact that we have free will means there is no God. And I was like, when we get to this part of the scripture, we're in Psalm 73, right? And it says that so pride adorns their necks and lawlessness enwraps them as a mantle. It's their arrogance, right? And they say they set their mouths against heaven, and their tongues range all over the earth. We have free will. And as I told my brother, just as in the story of Jonah, what Jonah tried, but the Most High had the waters rip the ship apart to where he had to jump off to save the men on the ship, to where the Most High swallowed him in a whale, spit him out on Nineveh. I said, yeah, but at the end of the day, Jonah could have murked himself. He could have gave up. Jonah could have said, I hate Nineveh, Most High. They're wrong. I don't believe in Nineveh having salvation. These evil people around here, I've been here painstakingly seeking your laws. I have been humbling myself. I have been restricting myself from enjoying the lust of this world. And these people that have not stopped at one point to be in any type of depravity in this world, you're going to forgive them when I come and tell them to change their ways? No, Most High, I refuse. They need to pay for everything that they've done. That's what Jonah's position was. Jonah could have killed himself and not done it. We're talking about having a choice of free will. Shabbat Shalom, the Abraham Foundation. We're talking about the free will. Do we have it or not? Though the Most High has prophecies, though the Most High says that there will be an absolute end and word, these words will come true no matter what you do. And as my brother said, man, when the Most High has a mission for you to do, it has nothing to do with free will. Man, you're going to be judged on what you did with your free will. That's what your judgment is about. The Most High given have free will, but guess what? If he needs you, if you're going to play a part in the Most High's plan, regardless of how much you done messed up, how much you don't seem to be like righteous, you seem to be more like a sinner, and he's going to use you, that's the Most High's choice to do so as he did with Nebuchadnezzar. That has nothing to do with you and your judgment and your soul. This world is so busy looking at other people, so busy looking at other things instead of right here. On Judgment Day, the Most High is not going to be talking about Nebuchadnezzar. Will you be talking about Nebuchadnezzar? Will you be talking about Bill Gates saying he got away with doing this? This person was doing the most evil things. No, what did you do with your free will? What did you choose with your free will? Did you choose righteousness or did you choose the world? When calamities happen to good people, did you forsake your creator and say it can't be a creator for bad things to happen to good people? The Most High must not be on duty? You, the Most High said, have not considered his hand. And to know his hand, you have to know what the prophet said in the words that we're speaking. That's why we're reading the entire chapter. We're not giving you something just to praise. We're not giving you something just to shout at. We are getting context and understanding the Most High's full word. It says, verse 8. Now we're going to start at, verse 10 of Psalm 73. So they pound his people again and again until they are drained of their very last tear. Then they say, how can the Most High know? Is there knowledge with the Most High? Such are the wicked. Saying, does the Most High know that their wickedness is going all around here? Even tranquil, they amass wealth. Verse 13, it was for nothing that I kept my heart pure and washed my hands in innocence, seeing that I have been constantly afflicted, that each morning brings new punishment. Had I decided to say these things, I should have been false to the circle of your disciples. So I applied myself to understand this. So in this Psalm of Asaph, Asaph is saying, if I would have told them that, yeah, man, y'all all right, man, that as pure as I'm trying to be and as much as I wash my hand in innocence every day, I get punishment and issues daily. See, so I applied myself to understand task. Remember, we're talking about tragedy. We're talking about what we would consider senseless calamities to good people. And how are we supposed to see that in the lens of the Most High? How are we supposed to see these oncoming calamities that's going to happen in this United Snakes for all that it's done? Because wickedness has to have an answer. Wickedness always has an answer. And we're going to be privy to it. How are we going to handle it? How are we going to handle when this nation is attacked again and again, and we see good people affected by this? Are we going to say there's no creator? Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? I'm trying to get y'all ready, man. I'm trying to get y'all ready so that people won't be able to steer you into these doctrines of false gods. I am crying out. I am imploring to you to understand the Most High's word on this Shabbat. This bad things are going to happen to a lot of good people. There's going to be no explanation for it. We're going to cry out. But are you going to go back to your vomit and fuck with Jesus? Are you? Because that's where I'm at with it, profane as it may be, because that's what the Most High said. You're poking your tongue at him. So when I say the F word, you think it's worse than poking your tongue at the Most High? Are you going to fuck back with ours? Are you going to get back with Allah? Are you going to get with these other gods, Muhammad and Jesus? Are you going to lose your mind when these bad things happen? Is you going to run to their funky ass churches? Is my question. I'm trying to give you strength. I'm trying to tell you that the Most High is not pleased. I'm trying to tell you he's going to destroy. Have I read these words too calmly for you to understand his hand? To understand that the calamity that came is not the devil, it was his hand? Do you understand that the calamity that his hand at your door is something you can't handle? Then I'm imploring to you, I'm begging to you to understand, come back unto the Most High and know his law. It is the only covering. It is the only grace and mercy. Nah, Big Londo. No, Big Londo. They need to know. We are being lullabied into a calamity. And if you don't know that you're being lullabied, if you don't know that you're being mentally put into a particular place to accept the next thing, you may want to get excited. New outbreak in China. Vaccines again, lockdowns again. Is there a creator? I'm telling you that calamity. I'm telling you that the Most High's hand is on all of the above. So sticking your tongue out and going back into these demigods of this world, falling back into sticking your head into the ground like an ostrich, and it's not going to work. It says, whom else have I in heaven? The Most High questions. We're in Psalm 73. We're at verse 17. After reading, it says, but it seems a hopeless task till I entered the Most High's sanctuary and reflected on their fate, on the fate of who evil. You surrounded them with flattery. You make them fall through blandishments. Blandishments. How suddenly are they ruined, wholly swept away by terror. When they are aroused, you despise their image, as one does a dream after waking. O Most High, my mind was stripped of its reason, stripped of reasoning. My feelings were numbered. I was a dolt without knowledge. I was brutish towards you. Yet I was always with you. You held my right hand. You guided me by your counsel and led me toward honor. Whom else have I in Shemayim? And having you, I want no one on earth. So the Most High says, whom else have I in Shemayim? And having you, us, his inheritance, I want no one on earth. My body and mind fail, but the Most High is the stay of my mind, my portion forever. Those who keep far from you perish. You annihilate all who are untrue to you. As for me, nearness to the Most High is good. I have made the Most High my refuge, that I may recount all your works. Allah is in the building. So understanding through Isaiah 57 and Psalm 73, the Most High gives his glory to no other. The world wants to bring you to every other, Tom, Dick, and Harry. The Most High says the solace is understanding in his hand and his movement, and being diligent in yours, following the law. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 1. It says, for all this I noted and ascertained, all this, that the actions of even the righteous and the wise are determined by the Most High. Oh, say it again. He said, hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. It says, I ascertain all this, that the actions of even the righteous and the wise are determined by the Most High. Even love, even hate. Man knows none of these in advance. None. For the same fate is in stone for all, for the righteous and for the wicked, for the good and pure, and for the impure, for him who sacrifices and for him who does not, for him who is pleasing. For him who does not, for him who is pleasing, and for him who is displeasing, and for him who swears, and for him who shuns oaths. This is the sad thing about all that goes under the sun, that the same fate is in stone for all. That the same fate, whether you are good or evil, is for everyone. What's that thing in stone that's for everyone? That you're going to be judged by your actions. It says not only that, but men's hearts are full of sadness and their minds of madness while they live, and then to the dead. For he who is reckoned among the living has something to look forward to. Even a live dog is better than a dead lion. You understand what that means, Logan? A living dog is better than a dead lion. What does that mean? Huh?
Because a living lion would kill
a living lion would kill a dog. But that's not what that's saying.
It's saying that even though the lion is strong, the dog still has breath, and so he's working on it.
Exactly. Even though a lion may be more grandiose and all that you are afraid of, it's dead. It can do nothing. as the coaches tell football players, the best football player is not the most talented one, but the one that's available. Because if the talented one is on a bench with a broken leg, it matters not. We need to win this game, right? It says, since the living know they will die, but the dead know nothing, they have no more recompense. For even the memory of them is died, has died. Their loves, their hate, their jealousies have long since passed. Verse 7. Go, bread in gladness, and drink your wine in joy. For your actions as long ago approved by the Most High. Let your clothes always be freshly washed, and your head never lack ointment. Enjoy happiness with a woman you love all the fleeting days of your life that you have been granted under the sun. All your fleeting days, for that alone is what you can get out of life and out of the means you acquire under the sun. Whatever it is in your power to do, do with all your might. For there is no action, no reasoning, no learning, no wisdom in hell where you are going. Verse 11. I have further observed under the sun that the race is not won by the swift, nor the battle by the valiant, nor is bread won by the wise. Now, everyone would say, well, that means there's no righteousness in the world. Why can't the wise win? Why can't the valiant one be the one that win the battle? He's the valiant one, right? Why isn't the race won by the swift, by the fastest? Why is it that Michael Jordan is the one and not the other guy that was better than Michael Jordan 10 times Michael Jordan never get there? The big question we have of life. It says, nor wealth by the intelligent, nor favor by the learned. For the time of mischance comes to all, and a man cannot even know his time. As fetishes are enmeshed in a fatal net, and as birds are trapped in a snare, so men are caught at a time of calamity, when it comes upon them without warning. This calamity, and that's what we've been discussing this entire lesson, as the title of the lesson is, why does calamities happen to good people? In this Ecclesiastes, it's telling you that there is no rhyme to reason, meaning that good or bad persons go through calamities. There is no such thing that only good people, bad things happen to. Bad things happen to bad people. Good things happen to bad people. There is a lot that happens to us all in this world. But rest assured that wicked has an end, whether you see it or not, whether you're standing there with your popcorn to watch the demise of the girl that you went to school that you thought was just evil, and you never get a chance to see her get her due. That's not for you, right? What's for you is your judgment and for steps to be guided by the Most High. For you, while you have the time in the living, in the breath, to choose the right and to choose wisely your steps of the foundation of his law, knowing that there is a greater battle that's going on in this world, that calamities are coming from that great battle of good and evil. Following yourself in righteousness does not stop a calamity from happening to you, but being good assures that you go to peace. Is that all that we can ask? Yeah. Is that all we can ask? Yes. Is that our loved ones go to peace, that we go to peace from this place? Have you not had enough turmoil here I mean, Egypt created a whole society on how to get through the afterlife to get to a peace. Most High says, that's done on this side. Your life dictates your peace. And no matter how you transition to that new life, whether it be good, whether it be timely or not, your actions will judge where you go. Verse 13. This thing too I observed under the sun about wisdom, and has affected me profoundly. There was a little city with a few men in it, and to it came a great king who invested it and built mighty siege works against it. Verse 15. Present in the city was a poor wise man who might have saved it with his wisdom, but nobody thought of that poor man. So I observed, wisdom is better than valor, but a poor man's wisdom is scorned, and his words are not heeded. Profound. It says that a great king comes across a small city of good people. There's a wise man there. The king decides he wants that city. He besieges it, get ready to take it over. But the wise man has the information to have this king leave, turn around and go the other way. But because he's poor, nobody listens to him, because he don't have the bends. He doesn't have the materialistic things. He doesn't have the things that evil affords you many times. Because he doesn't have those luxury items to show that he's successful, it seems as though he has no wisdom. When we question ourselves about good things happening to, calamities happening to good people, we should think about that in Ecclesiastes. Because wisdom has nothing to do with what we outwardly think can win, meaning valor, army, guns, death, returning death for receiving. Maybe there's wisdom that's the answer to the calamities, to the problems in your life, to the reoccurring problems in your life, to the problem that you can't seem to shake because you got certain people that keep on coming around you. Maybe wisdom is the thing that you need in order to stop those things from happening, from attracting those type of people. We're going to go to my wife's verse, this Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 12 through 14. You want to read it, baby? All right, I'm going to read it. Verse 12 of Ecclesiastes chapter 8 says, the fact that a sinner may do evil 100 times and is punished still be delayed. His punishment still be delayed. For although I am aware that it will be well with those who revere the Most High, since they revere him, and it will not be well with the scoundrel, and he will not live long, because he does not revere the Most High. Verse 14, here is a frustration that occurs in the world. Sometimes an upright man is requited according to the conduct of the scoundrel, and sometimes the scoundrel is requited according to the conduct of the upright. I say all that is frustration. That's a powerful Ecclesiastes from 9 to 8, when so many of us are bewildered by this question of thinking that they're seeing evil flourish and good not being rewarded. In fact, good being punished. That the good fall into these New Year's Eve calamities. Everybody has their judgment, their end time. The thing that's written in stone when your date is up. It's not really for us to question how that happened, how that transition happened, or to question that date. The question is, was that person righteous? Did that person walk a life that they're in peace now? It's the only question. It's not that the Most High is not there. It's not that he does not see. Many times, this world acts as though death isn't a part of this cycle, this life. I know because the people that are in control of us, they are trying to live forever. I know. They've got machines, they got skins, they want to give their souls to, freeze it and all that kind of stuff because they want this immortality. Because of all, maybe because they've done, they don't want to, they already can't sleep. They don't want to die and have to answer for their judgment. But a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old that is taken from us in our assumption untimely, that angel is just flying back into its creator. That young lady that worked so hard to take care of her child, left an example for her child and many others. She's at peace. All that lost their lives on that day are in peace. The question for us is to understand that these calamities are continuing and that we must continue to go into our Creator as we live, because we may actually be able to inherit this earth. We may actually have the opportunity, as these prophecies are coming fast, that we may actually rebuild, as in Jeremiah 30 says, on top of the ruins of this nation. Oh, there are so much at hand for us that we need to stay focused on being righteous, focused on the Most High's law, understanding that there are great gains to be had. Let's go to our last scripture for the day. Logan has given us Isaiah 54, verse 10. Say what? My family having a real lazy winter day. You can say don't want to read. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 10, and it reads, "For the mountain may move and the hills be shaken, but my loyalty shall never move from you. Not my covenant or friendship be shaken, says the Most High, who takes you back in love." I think that's the way we should end all the time, understanding that the Most High loves us, has a covenant with us, and no one else. All that chooses to be in the covenant with him, white, black, orange, green, blue, child, man, woman, grandfather, is there for you. All praises, all praises, all praises to the Most High. This is for you. Whether you are of the 12 tribes, whether you are melanated, the law is for all. The law is for all. All praise to the Most High. We will see you guys on Monday. So says the Most High. Me shalom. Always.